My beloved child, I need you to stop everything you are doing right now and just listen to my voice. I need you to truly hear the words I am about to speak over your life, because tonight is the night I want to transform everything that has been weighing so heavily on your heart. I see you there. I see you carrying those heavy burdens that were never meant for you to bear on your own. I see the exhaustion in your soul, a tiredness that runs so much deeper than just physical fatigue, deeper than the weariness that comes from a long, hard day of work. I see the worry that has been stealing your sleep night after night, leaving you staring at the ceiling while your mind races with thoughts that simply will not quiet down. I see those concerns that seem to multiply in the darkness of the sleepless hours. I see the fear that whispers lies to you in the quiet moments when everyone else is asleep, and you are left all alone with your concerns about tomorrow, about next week, about next month, and even next year. I see the way you have been trying so hard to hold yourself together when everything inside you feels like it is falling apart, like pieces of your life are scattered on the floor and you do not know how to put them back together. I see the brave face you wear during the day while your heart cries out for comfort, for peace, for rest, and for someone who truly understands the weight you have been carrying and the struggles you have been facing in silence. I see the tears you have held back when people asked how you were doing, because you did not want to burden them with the heavy reality of what you have been going through. I see the prayers you have whispered in total desperation, wondering if I am even listening, if I care, or if I am even there. I see the nights you have cried out to me in the darkness, feeling so alone, so overwhelmed, and so uncertain about your future. Right now, place your hand on your heart and out loud, if you can, say, "I hear you, Lord." Say it slowly and let it land in your spirit. But I have come to you in this very moment to declare that all of that ends tonight. The season of carrying these burdens alone is over. The time of feeling forgotten and overlooked is finished. The period of struggling in your own limited strength while feeling completely inadequate for what you are facing is coming to an end right now. You have been fighting battles with your own wisdom, your own resources, and your own limited understanding for far too long. I want you to know that the God of miracles is standing right beside you, ready to demonstrate His unlimited power in your life. You have been carrying weights that were specifically designed by the enemy to crush your spirit, to steal your hope, to rob your peace, to destroy your faith, and to make you give up on the dreams I have placed in your heart. But I am here to lift them from your shoulders. You have been walking through valleys that seemed endless, valleys of confusion where you could not see the way forward, valleys of disappointment where your hopes have been dashed repeatedly, valleys of heartbreak where relationships have been torn apart, valleys of financial struggle where you wonder how you will make ends meet, valleys of relationship problems where communication has broken down completely, valleys of health concerns where you wonder if you will ever feel strong again. But I am here to lead you out of those valleys and into green pastures where your soul can finally find the rest it has been desperately craving. I am here to guide you beside still waters where your spirit can be refreshed and your faith can be fully restored. I am here to prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies, where you can feast on my goodness, while those who have opposed you watch in amazement. If you mean this, speak now. Lord, I hand this to you. I receive your help. Say it with conviction, even once, and notice how your shoulders change. I know about the impossible situation you are facing right now. The one that keeps you awake at night, wondering how it could ever be resolved. I know about that problem that seems to grow bigger and more complicated every time you think about it. That challenge that makes you feel overwhelmed before you even begin to address it. I know about the mountain of debt that seems immovable, standing between you and the financial freedom you long for, blocking your path to the security and peace of mind that you desperately need. I know about the door of opportunity that appears permanently closed, blocking your path to the breakthrough you have been believing for and praying about for so long that you have begun to wonder if it will ever come to pass. I know about the dream that feels completely out of reach, buried under layers of disappointment and delay, buried under the voices of people who told you it was unrealistic, buried under the circumstances that seem to make it impossible to pursue. I know about the relationship that seems broken beyond repair, where hurt has built walls so high that you cannot see over them, where words have been spoken that cut deep into the heart and left wounds that seem to refuse to heal, where trust has been shattered and you wonder if it can ever be rebuilt. I know about the family member who has walked away and shows no signs of coming back, who has chosen a path that breaks your heart and keeps you awake at night, praying and crying and wondering where you went wrong as a parent, as a spouse, as a sibling, or as a child. I know about the marriage that feels like two strangers living in the same house, where communication has broken down to the point where you feel like you are speaking different languages, where intimacy has been replaced by distance and coldness, where love seems to have grown cold and you wonder if it can ever be rekindled. I know about the children who have chosen paths that concern you, who seem to have forgotten everything you taught them, who are making choices that you know will hurt them, but they will not listen to your wisdom. I know about the health issue that the doctors say has no cure, that diagnosis that filled you with fear and turned your world upside down in a single moment. I know about the pain that never seems to go away, no matter what treatment you try, no matter how much you pray, no matter how many people lay hands on you and declare healing. I know about the condition that has been stealing your strength and limiting your ability to enjoy life, to work, to serve, and to be the person you want to be for your family. I know about the job situation that has you worried about your future, whether you are unemployed and looking for work, or underemployed and struggling to make ends meet, or in a position that drains your soul and leaves you feeling unfulfilled. I know about the business that is struggling, the career that seems stalled, the dreams that seem impossible to achieve, given your current circumstances. But I want you to understand something tonight that will change everything about how you see your circumstances. I want you to understand who I am in a way that will transform your perspective on every challenge you are facing, every mountain you need to climb, and every battle you need to fight. I am not just any god among many gods. I am not a limited being who sometimes can help and sometimes cannot. I am not a distant force that may or may not be interested in your personal struggles. I am not a cosmic vending machine that dispenses blessings when you insert the right combination of prayer and faith. I am the God who specializes in impossibilities. I am the God who looks at situations that have no natural solution and says, "This is exactly the kind of challenge where I love to demonstrate my power." I am the God who takes the circumstances that seem hopeless from a human perspective and turns them into testimonies of my magnificent power that will encourage others for generations to come. I am the God who delights in confounding the wisdom of this world by showing up in power in places where human effort has failed completely. When everyone around you says it cannot be done, when all the experts tell you there is no way, when every door seems locked and every path seems blocked, when every resource has been exhausted and every option has been explored, I am the God who says, "Watch me work." I am the God who delights in doing what seems impossible, because it brings me glory when people can see clearly that what happened in their life could only have come from my hand. I love to confound the wisdom of this world by showing up in power in places where human effort has failed. I love to demonstrate my ability to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. I love to show that my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. I love to prove that what is impossible with man is possible with God. You have been looking at your problems through the lens of human limitation. But tonight, I want to give you my perspective. What looks impossible to you is exactly the kind of situation where I love to show up and demonstrate my power. That financial crisis that has been keeping you up at night, that debt that seems to grow faster than your ability to pay it down, that lack of resources that makes you wonder how you will provide for your family, how you will pay for your children's education, how you will ever retire with dignity, how you will handle unexpected emergencies when you are already stretched so thin that every dollar is accounted for before it even comes in. I see it all. Every bill, every need, every concern about money. And I want you to know that I specialize in supernatural provision. I am the God who can open the windows of heaven and pour out blessings so abundant that there will not be room enough to contain them. I am the God who can make a way where there is no way, who can bring resources from places you never imagined, who can turn your lack into overflow in ways that will astound you and everyone who knows your situation. I am the God who can multiply what little you have, just like I multiplied the loaves and fishes to feed thousands of hungry people with just a small boy's lunch. I am the God who can bring increase that defies natural explanation, opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere, favor that opens doors you never could have opened yourself. I am the God who can cause your boss to think of you for that promotion, who can cause that business deal to fall into place, who can cause that loan to be approved when it looked like it would be denied. I want you to know that your financial situation is not a surprise to me. I have not been caught off guard by your circumstances. I knew about your needs before you even realized you had them. And I have already been preparing the solution while you've been worrying about the problem. There are resources with your name on them that you do not even know about yet. There are opportunities being arranged right now that will provide for you in ways that exceed your expectations and demonstrate my faithfulness. There are people being positioned to be channels of blessing in your life who do not even know yet that they are going to be part of your miracle. There are contracts being written, decisions being made, and circumstances being aligned that will result in provision coming to you from directions you never expected. There are windows of opportunity opening that you have not seen yet, but when you see them, you will know that they could only have come from my hand. Take a pen and paper now, write one financial worry or need, and beneath it, write, "Lord, this is yours." Keep that paper somewhere and read it each morning as a reminder that you handed it to Him. And regarding that relationship that seems broken beyond repair, that marriage that has been struggling for months or years, that family that has been torn apart by misunderstanding, hurt, and unforgiveness, I want you to know that I am the God of restoration. I am the God who can soften the hardest hearts, who can heal the deepest wounds, who can bring reconciliation where there has been years of separation, misunderstanding, and pain. I can speak to hearts in ways that you cannot. While you are limited to words and actions that may or may not be received the way you intend them, I can reach into the depths of someone's soul and touch them with my love in a way that breaks down every wall they have built, melts every defense they have erected, and opens their heart to forgiveness and healing. I can remind them of the good times that seem forgotten, the love that still exists beneath all the hurt, the bond that was formed that no amount of pain can completely sever. I can bring conviction without condemnation. I can bring awareness of wrong without destroying hope. I can bring repentance without shame. I can bring healing without reopening wounds. I can bring restoration that is stronger and more beautiful than what existed before the brokenness began. I can bring your loved ones home. And when I do, the reunion will be sweeter than anything you could have imagined. The healing I bring will be deeper than just patching up surface problems. The restoration I provide will create a stronger foundation than what existed before the trouble began. The love that emerges from the process will be more mature, more tested, and more precious, because it has been through the fire and emerged purified and strengthened. But I need you to understand that sometimes the healing of relationships requires time. Sometimes it requires a change in you as well as in them. Sometimes it requires you to love without any guarantee of response while I work in their heart. Sometimes it requires you to forgive when they are not asking for forgiveness. Sometimes it requires you to release them to me while I do a work in their heart that you cannot do through your words or your efforts. Your job is not to force or manipulate or control the process. Your job is not to convince them to change or to make them see their need for you. Your job is to love, to forgive, to pray, to trust me, and to do what only I can do in the depths of another person's heart. Your job is to be ready for reconciliation when it comes, to keep your heart soft when theirs is hard, and to remain hopeful when the situation looks hopeless. If a person's name rises in your heart, whisper it now. Then set a concrete step. Send a short message, call to say you love them, or set a daily 2-minute reminder to pray for them. Start that step tonight. Let me tell you about the family members you have been praying for, the ones who seem so far from me right now. I see your heart breaking as you watch them make choices that you know will hurt them. I see your tears as you pray for their salvation, their deliverance, and their return to the right path. I see your frustration when they reject your advice or get angry when you try to share your faith with them. I want you to know that I love them even more than you do. I see their hearts, and I understand what is driving their rebellion, their anger, and their rejection of me. Sometimes people run from me because they have been hurt by people who claim to represent me. Sometimes they reject faith because they have seen hypocrisy in the church or been wounded by religious people who showed them judgment instead of love. Sometimes they are running from me because they think they have sinned too much for me to forgive them, or because they believe the lie that they have to clean up their lives before they can come to me. Sometimes they are angry at me because of tragedies they have experienced or prayers they feel I did not answer. Sometimes they are simply caught up in the pleasures of this world and do not want to surrender their independence. But I want you to know that I am working in their hearts, even when you cannot see any evidence of it. I am speaking to them in ways they cannot ignore. I am putting people in their path who will show them my love. I am allowing circumstances that will cause them to remember what you have taught them about me. I am patient with them just as I was patient with you when you were far from me. Your prayers for them are not falling on deaf ears. Every time you mention their names before my throne, I am moved with compassion to extend mercy to them one more day. Your tears over their condition touch my heart and motivate me to pursue them with my love. Your faithfulness to keep believing for them when everything looks hopeless demonstrates the kind of faith that moves mountains. Now, about that health issue that the doctors say has no cure, that diagnosis that filled you with fear and turned your world upside down in a single moment, that chronic condition that has been limiting your life and stealing your strength, I want you to know that I am the God who heals. I am the same God who gave sight to the blind, who made the lame walk, who cleansed the lepers, who raised the dead. My power has not diminished over time. My ability to heal has not changed with the advancement of medical science. My compassion for those who suffer has not decreased. When I speak health into your body, every cell responds to my voice. When I command sickness to leave, it has no choice but to obey my word. I can reverse what seems irreversible. I can heal what doctors say is incurable. I can restore what seems permanently damaged. I can regenerate what has been lost. I can strengthen what has been weakened. I can bring life where death seems to be winning. But I also want you to know that my healing sometimes comes in ways that are different from what you expect. Sometimes I heal instantly and completely, shocking doctors and confounding medical experts who have no explanation for what happened. Sometimes I heal gradually, strengthening you step by step as you walk through the process, building your faith and character along the way. Sometimes I heal by giving you supernatural strength to live abundantly in spite of physical limitations that remain. And sometimes I heal by preparing you for a perfect eternal body in heaven while using your current struggle to bring others to faith and to demonstrate my grace in your life. Sometimes the greatest healing is not the removal of the condition, but the peace and strength I give you to live with it in a way that brings glory to my name and encourages others who are facing similar challenges. Regardless of how or when my healing comes, I want you to know that I am with you in every moment of pain, every treatment, every doctor's appointment, every sleepless night, and every moment when you wonder how you will have the strength to continue. I feel what you feel. I understand your fears and frustrations. I am moved with compassion by your suffering, and I am working in your situation even when you cannot see or feel what I am doing. If God is stirring faith for healing in you, stand or sit boldly and say 3 times, "By faith I receive healing." Say it loud enough to hear yourself. Declare it. But I need you to understand that my miracles are not just about changing your external circumstances. They are about changing your heart. They are about drawing you closer to me. They are about showing you that you are deeply loved and valued, not just by human beings who may disappoint you or let you down, but by the Creator of the universe, who will never leave you or forsake you, who will never stop loving you, and who will never give up on you. Every miracle I perform in your life is a love letter, a tangible expression of how much you mean to me. When I intervene in your situation, it is not just because I want to solve your problem, though I certainly care about your practical needs and the daily struggles you face. It is not just because I want to remove your pain, though your suffering moves my heart with compassion, and I long to comfort you. It is because I want you to know, beyond any shadow of doubt, that you are my precious child, and I will never leave you to face anything alone. I want you to experience my love in a way that transforms not just your circumstances, but your entire understanding of who you are and how much you matter to me and to the world around you. I have been watching you struggle, and my heart has been moved with such deep compassion for you. You have been trying so hard to figure everything out on your own, to be strong for everyone who depends on you, to keep it all together when everything inside you feels like it is falling apart. You have been the rock for others while your own foundation has been shaking. You have been the encourager for others while your own spirit has been crying out for encouragement. You have been the one everyone turns to when they need help, when they need advice, when they need someone to listen, when they need someone to pray. You have been the one who holds the family together, who keeps the household running, who makes sure everyone else's needs are met. You have been the one who works hard to provide, who sacrifices your own desires for the good of others, who puts everyone else's needs ahead of your own. But who takes care of you? Who asks how you are doing and really wants to know the answer? Who sees past the strong exterior to the vulnerable heart underneath? Who recognizes that the one who is always helping others might need some help themselves? Who understands that the one who is always giving might need to receive? Tonight, I want you to stop trying to carry what I never asked you to carry. I want you to stop pretending that you have to have all the answers, that you have to be strong all the time, that you cannot show weakness or vulnerability or need. I want you to stop believing that if you do not hold everything together, everything will fall apart. I want you to stop thinking that everyone's happiness and success depends on your performance. I want you to come to me like a little child who runs to their father when they are scared or hurt or confused. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I want you to bring me your fears, your worries, your doubts, your questions, your frustrations, and your disappointments, and let me replace them with my peace, my assurance, my love, my wisdom, and my strength. I want you to let me be your strength when you are weak, your peace when you are anxious, your hope when you are discouraged, and your joy when you are sad. You see, my child, The miracle you need most might not be the external change you think you want. Sometimes we get so focused on wanting our circumstances to change that we miss the deeper miracle I want to work in our hearts. Sometimes we become so fixated on the problem that we cannot see the purpose. Sometimes we become so consumed with what we want that we miss what we need. The miracle you need most might be the peace that I can give you in the middle of your storm. A peace that is not dependent on your situation improving, but flows from knowing that you are loved and held by me, regardless of what is happening around you. It might be the strength I can give you to walk through your valley with grace and dignity, not the strength to avoid all valleys, but the supernatural endurance to keep moving forward when the path is difficult and the journey seems long. It might be the joy I can restore to your heart even while you wait for your breakthrough. A joy that comes not from having everything work out the way you want, but from knowing that your current chapter is not your final chapter, and that I am writing something beautiful with your life. It might be the faith I can build in you that becomes so strong that circumstances can no longer shake you. A faith that is anchored not in what you can see, but in who you know me to be. This kind of faith becomes a foundation that can support you through any storm. A peace that passes understanding even when nothing makes sense. A confidence that cannot be stolen by changing circumstances. A hope that remains bright even in the darkest night. This kind of inner transformation often proves to be more valuable than the external changes we think we need. I want to tell you about the power that lives inside you because you belong to me. You are not powerless, though you may feel powerless right now. You are not a victim of circumstances beyond your control, though it may seem that way when you look at your situation. You are not at the mercy of other people's choices, though their decisions may affect you and sometimes hurt you deeply. You carry my power within you. You have access to the same power that raised Jesus from the dead, the same power that spoke the universe into existence, the same power that parted the Red Sea and brought down the walls of Jericho, the same power that healed the sick and raised the dead. This is not just religious language or inspirational speaking. This is spiritual reality. This is the truth about who you are in me. You have the ability to speak to mountains and command to move, not through your own authority, but through the authority I have given you as my child. You have the ability to bind the enemy's attacks against your life, your family, and your future, and loose the blessings of heaven into your situation. You have the ability to speak life where there has been death, hope where there has been despair, healing where there has been sickness, and peace where there has been chaos. But you need to understand this power and learn to walk in it. You need to understand that it is not magic or manipulation, but it is the result of aligning yourself with my will and speaking my word with faith. It is not about getting what you want, but about participating with me in seeing my kingdom come and my will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When you pray, you are not just hoping that I might hear you or that I might choose to help you if I am in a good mood. When you pray, you are releasing my power into your situation. You are partnering with me to see my will accomplished on earth as it is in heaven. You are opening a channel for my supernatural intervention in your circumstances. Prayer is not begging or pleading with a reluctant God who needs to be convinced to care about your problems. Prayer is cooperation with an eager Father who wants to bless his children and is looking for opportunities to demonstrate his love. When you speak my word over your circumstances, when you declare what I have said about your situation instead of what it looks like from a natural perspective, you are activating spiritual forces that are more real and more powerful than anything you can see with your physical eyes. You are setting in motion laws of the spiritual realm that supersede the laws of the natural realm. You are invoking my promises and expecting me to fulfill them, because I cannot lie and my word never returns void. When you worship me in the middle of your storm, when you choose to focus on my goodness instead of your problems, when you lift up praise even when you do not feel like praising, you are creating an atmosphere where miracles can happen. You are demonstrating a faith that moves my heart and opens the windows of heaven. You are choosing to believe that I am bigger than your problems. And that choice of faith positions you to receive supernatural intervention when you choose to trust me instead of fear. When you decide to believe my promises instead of your circumstances, when you refuse to let anxiety dictate your emotions and instead anchor yourself in my love, you are opening the door for me to work in ways that will astound you. Trust is not a feeling, it is a decision. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to act on what you know to be true about me, even when your emotions are telling you something different. I know that sometimes you feel like your prayers are not being answered the way you want them to be answered. I know that sometimes you feel like I am not moving fast enough to meet your needs or solve your problems. I know that sometimes you wonder if maybe I have forgotten about you, if maybe your situation is too small for me to notice or too complicated for me to handle. But I want you to understand that my timing is perfect, even when it does not align with your preferences or expectations. I am never late, but I am also never early. I move at the exact moment when my intervention will have the greatest impact, when it will bring me the greatest glory, when it will strengthen your faith the most, and when it will accomplish the most good. Not just for you, but for everyone who will be affected by your testimony. Sometimes I allow situations to get darker before I bring the dawn, because I want you to see clearly that what happens next could only come from me. Sometimes I wait until human solutions have been exhausted so that when my miracle comes, there will be no doubt about its source. Sometimes I delay until your character has been developed to the point where you can handle the blessing I want to give you. Sometimes I wait until the people around you have been prepared to witness my power in a way that will impact their faith as well as yours. Right now, even as you hear these words, I am working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. I am aligning circumstances that will work together for your good. I am moving hearts that need to be moved, softening attitudes that need to be softened, and opening minds that need to be opened. I am preparing people who will play important roles in your breakthrough, even if they do not know it yet. I am opening doors that seemed permanently locked, creating opportunities that did not exist yesterday. I am removing obstacles that have been blocking your path, some of which you can see and some of which you cannot see. I am orchestrating events that will converge at exactly the right moment to bring about your breakthrough in ways that will exceed your expectations. I am positioning you for divine appointments, supernatural connections, unexpected provision, and miraculous interventions. I am arranging circumstances so that you will be in the right place at the right time to receive what I have prepared for you. I am preparing hearts to receive what you have to offer. I am opening minds to see your value and your potential. I am creating opportunities for you to use your gifts and to fulfill your purpose. Trust me when I tell you that your miracle is already in motion. Your answer is already on its way. Your victory is already secured. The outcome has already been determined in the spiritual realm, and now it is just a matter of time before it manifests in the physical realm. What I have spoken over your life will come to pass. What I have promised you will be fulfilled. What I have begun in you, I will complete. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. But while you wait for what I am doing in the external realm, I want to do something powerful in your heart right now. I want to give you rest. Not just physical rest, though you certainly need that after carrying these burdens for so long. I want to give you deep, profound, soul-satisfying rest. The kind of rest that comes from knowing that you are completely loved, totally accepted, perfectly safe, and eternally secure. The kind of rest that allows you to sleep peacefully even when your circumstances are chaotic. This rest that I offer you is unlike anything the world can provide. It is not dependent on your circumstances being perfect or your problems being solved. It is not based on having enough money in the bank or perfect health or ideal relationships. It is a supernatural peace that comes from knowing who you are in me and who I am in you. This rest is available to you right now in this moment, regardless of what you are facing. You do not have to wait until your situation improves to experience it. You do not have to wait until your prayers are answered to receive it. You do not have to wait until you feel more spiritual or more worthy to enjoy it. It is yours right now because you belong to me. I want you to understand something about anxiety and worry that will help you embrace this rest. Anxiety is not just an emotional problem, it is a spiritual issue. When you worry, you are essentially saying that you do not trust me to take care of you. When you are anxious, you are acting as if your problems are bigger than my power. When you are consumed with fear about the future, you are forgetting my promises about your destiny. I do not say this to condemn you or make you feel guilty about your worry. I understand that you are human and that fear and anxiety are natural responses to difficult situations. But I want to give you a different way to respond, a supernatural way that brings peace instead of turmoil, rest instead of restlessness, and faith instead of fear. The key to experiencing this rest is learning to cast your cares on me. This is not just a nice religious phrase. It is a practical spiritual exercise. When you feel worry rising in your heart, when anxiety begins to grip your mind, when fear starts to paralyze you, you can literally take those emotions and give them to me in prayer. Picture yourself gathering up all your worries and fears like you would gather up dirty laundry, and then imagine yourself throwing them into my arms. See me catching them and taking them from you so that you no longer have to carry them. This is not just imagination, this is spiritual reality. When you cast your cares on me, I really do take them from you. But you have to be willing to let them go. Many people pray and ask me to take their worries, but then they take them back as soon as they finish praying. They hand me their problems and then immediately start thinking about them again, analyzing them again, trying to solve them again. This is like asking someone to carry a heavy bag for you and then insisting on carrying it yourself. True rest comes when you give me your concerns and then leave them with me. True peace comes when you trust me enough to stop trying to figure everything out yourself. True freedom comes when you acknowledge that you were never meant to carry the weight of worry, and that I am more than able to handle whatever you are facing. You have been anxious for too long. You've been carrying stress that is affecting your sleep, your health, your relationships, and your ability to enjoy the good things in your life. You've been living in a constant state of worry that has robbed you of peace and joy. You have been trying to control outcomes that are not in your hands while neglecting to enjoy the blessings that are right in front of you. You have been so focused on what might happen tomorrow that you have missed what is happening today. You have been so concerned about what you lack that you have forgotten to be grateful for what you have. You have been so worried about what could go wrong that you have failed to notice what is going right. Tonight, I want to lift those burdens from your shoulders and give you the peace that passes all understanding. I want to give you a rest that is not dependent on your circumstances being perfect, but flows from your relationship with me. I want to teach you how to cast your cares on me because I care for you, how to trust me with your future because I have good plans for you, and how to rest in my love because my love for you never changes, regardless of what happens in your life. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. These are not just beautiful words written in an ancient book by someone who lived long ago in a different time and culture. They are a powerful promise from your loving Heavenly Father who sees your exhaustion and wants to refresh your soul. They are an invitation to experience something that this world cannot give you. No matter how much money you have, how successful you become, or how perfectly your circumstances align, they are an offer of supernatural peace that can guard your heart and mind even in the middle of chaos, confusion, and uncertainty. This peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of God in the middle of problems. This rest is not the absence of responsibility, but the confidence that you are not carrying those responsibilities alone. This comfort is not the absence of pain, but the assurance that your pain has meaning and that it will not last forever. I want you to imagine right now that you are physically placing every worry, every fear, and every burden into my hands. Picture yourself gathering up all the anxiety that has been stealing your peace, all the stress that has been robbing your joy, and all the fear that has been limiting your faith, and laying them down at my feet. See yourself walking away free, lighter, able to breathe again, able to smile again, able to hope again. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders as you release the responsibility for outcomes that were never yours to control. Sense the peace flowing into your heart as you trust me with your future. Experience the relief that comes from finally admitting that you do not have to have all the answers. You do not have to be strong all the time. You do not have to carry what I never asked you to carry. You are so precious to me, my child. You matter so much more than you realize. Your life has value that cannot be measured by human standards. Your existence brings joy to my heart in ways you cannot comprehend. Before you were even born, I knew you. Before you took your first breath, I chose you. Before you faced your first challenge, I planned good things for your life. Before you made your first mistake, I prepared forgiveness for you. I have prepared blessings with your name on them that no one else can receive. I have designed opportunities specifically for you that fit your unique gifts and calling. I have planned relationships for you that will bring joy and fulfillment to your heart. I have created purposes for your life that will give you deep satisfaction and allow you to make a difference in the world around you. I designed you for victory, not defeat. Everything in your spiritual DNA is oriented toward overcoming, succeeding, thriving, and flourishing. I created you for joy, not sorrow. While sorrow may visit your life for seasons, joy is your inheritance and your ultimate destiny. I formed you for peace, not anxiety. Peace is your birthright as my child, and I want to teach you how to walk in that peace regardless of your circumstances. Everything the enemy has tried to steal from you, I am going to restore. Every dream he has tried to destroy, I am going to revive. Every hope he has tried to kill, I am going to resurrect. Every relationship he has tried to ruin, I am going to heal. Every opportunity he has tried to block, I am going to open. Everything he has whispered to you about failure and hopelessness, I am going to prove wrong with the magnificent way I turn your situation around. But before you rest tonight, I want to speak deeper into your spirit about the miraculous power that flows through you as my child. I want you to understand that the same power that created the universe exists within you right now. This is not religious rhetoric or spiritual hyperbole. This is the fundamental reality of what it means to be born again, to be filled with my spirit, to be connected to me through faith. When I spoke the worlds into existence, I did not use external tools or instruments. I used the power of my word. I said, "Let there be light," and light came into being where there had been only darkness. I commanded the waters to separate from the dry land, and immediately geography was established. I called forth vegetation, and the earth burst into bloom with every variety of plant and tree. I set the sun, moon, and stars in their courses, and they began their eternal dance through the heavens. That same creative power is available to you when you align your words with mine. When you speak my promises over your circumstances, instead of speaking your fears and doubts. When you declare what I have said about your situation, instead of what it looks like from a natural perspective, you are releasing creative power into your environment that can bring order where there has been chaos, light where there has been darkness, and life where there has been death. You have the authority to speak to the mountains in your life and command them to move. But you must understand that these mountains are not just physical obstacles. They are spiritual strongholds that have been erected to block your progress and steal your destiny. The mountain of financial lack that seems immovable, that debt that grows faster than your ability to pay it, that poverty mindset that tells you that you will always struggle, that fear of never having enough that keeps you awake at night calculating and recalculating your resources. When you speak to this mountain with faith and authority, when you declare that I am your provider and that my resources are unlimited, when you command lack to leave and abundance to come, you are activating spiritual laws that supersede natural economics. You are opening channels for supernatural provision that can flow to you from sources you never imagined possible. The mountain of sickness and disease that has been attacking your body, that diagnosis that filled you with fear, that chronic condition that has been limiting your quality of life, that pain that never seems to go away no matter what treatments you try. When you speak to this mountain with the authority I have given you, when you command healing to flow through every cell of your body, when you declare that by my stripes you were healed, you are activating healing power that can restore what seemed irreversibly damaged. I want you to understand that healing is not just about the absence of disease. It is about the presence of wholeness in every area of your life. Physical healing is wonderful, and I delight in restoring health to sick bodies. But I also want to heal your emotions, your memories, your relationships, your self-esteem, your ability to trust, and your capacity to love and be loved. You may have wounds in your heart that are deeper than any physical ailment you have ever experienced. Wounds from rejection, abandonment, betrayal, abuse, disappointment, failure, and loss. These wounds affect every area of your life, coloring how you see yourself, how you relate to others, how you respond to opportunities, and how you handle stress and pressure. But I want you to know that I specialize in healing broken hearts. I am close to the brokenhearted, and I save those who are crushed in spirit. I can heal wounds that have been festering for years or even decades. I can restore your ability to trust when trust has been shattered. I can rebuild your confidence when it has been destroyed by criticism and failure. I can repair your capacity for intimacy when it has been damaged by betrayal and rejection. This healing often happens gradually as you spend time in my presence, allowing my love to penetrate the protective walls you have built around your heart. As you receive my unconditional acceptance, the voices of condemnation begin to lose their power over you. As you experience my faithful love, the fear of abandonment begins to diminish. As you rest in my protection, the need to protect yourself from further hurt begins to relax. The mountain of relational dysfunction that has been causing pain in your family, that breakdown in communication between you and people you love, that bitterness that has taken root and is poisoning your interactions, that unforgiveness that is keeping you trapped in past hurts. When you speak to this mountain with the authority of love, when you choose to forgive even when the other person has not asked for forgiveness, when you bless those who have hurt you and pray for those who have used you, you are releasing healing power into relationships that can restore what seemed broken beyond repair. But forgiveness is not just something you do for others. It is something you do for yourself. When you forgive, you are not excusing what they did or saying that it did not matter. You are releasing yourself from the prison of bitterness and resentment. You are choosing freedom over bondage, peace over torment, and love over hate. Unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It hurts you far more than it hurts them. It steals your peace, ruins your sleep, affects your health, damages your other relationships, and blocks my blessings from flowing into your life. When you forgive, you are opening the door for me to bring healing and restoration that seemed impossible while you were holding on to hurt. The mountain of fear and anxiety that has been controlling your thoughts and decisions, that constant worry about what might happen, that paralysis that comes from imagining worst-case scenarios, that inability to enjoy today because you are so concerned about tomorrow. When you speak to this mountain with the authority of faith, when you choose to trust my promises instead of your fears, when you cast your cares upon me because I care for you, you are breaking the power of fear over your life. Fear is not just an emotion. It is a spiritual force that seeks to control your life and limit your potential. Fear of failure keeps you from pursuing your dreams. Fear of rejection keeps you from building meaningful relationships. Fear of lack keeps you from being generous and trusting me for provision. Fear of loss keeps you from enjoying what you have. Fear of change keeps you stuck in situations that no longer serve you. But perfect love casts out fear. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. And I want to fill you with such a revelation of my love that fear can no longer find a place in your heart. When you really understand how much I love you, how committed I am to your welfare, and how carefully I watch over every detail of your life, fear begins to lose its grip on you. I want to tell you about the specific miracles I am preparing for your life right now. These are not vague possibilities or maybe someday hopes. These are definite plans that I am putting into motion as you receive my words in faith tonight. There is a miracle of provision coming to your household that will shock you with its magnitude and its timing. Bills that you have been struggling to pay are about to be paid in full by resources you never expected. Debt that has been a burden on your shoulders is about to be lifted through opportunities that will seem like they fell from heaven. Income that you have been praying for is about to be released through channels that you never could have orchestrated yourself. I am positioning people right now to be blessings in your life. There are individuals with resources who are being moved by my spirit to invest in your success, to support your dreams, and to open doors for your advancement. There are business deals being arranged that will benefit you in ways you cannot yet imagine. There are opportunities being prepared that perfectly match your gifts and experience. There are contracts being written that will provide security for your family. There are positions being created that seem designed specifically for your qualifications. There are ideas being planted in the minds of decision makers that will result in favor and advancement for you. There are obstacles being removed that have been blocking your progress. There are enemies being moved out of your way who have been working against your success. There is a miracle of healing coming to your body that will confound medical professionals and bring glory to my name. Conditions that have been declared incurable are going to respond to my healing touch. Pain that has been your constant companion is going to leave and never return. Strength that has been sapped by illness is going to be restored to levels greater than before you were sick. Organs that have been damaged are going to be regenerated by my creative power. Systems that have been malfunctioning are going to begin operating perfectly. Tests that have been showing problems are going to come back clear and healthy. Doctors who have been pessimistic about your prognosis are going to be amazed by your improvement. But more than just physical healing, I am bringing emotional and spiritual healing that will transform your entire life experience. Depression that has been weighing you down is going to lift like fog before the morning sun. Anxiety that has been stealing your peace is going to be replaced by supernatural calm. Joy that has been missing from your life is going to return in waves that make you feel like a child again. Hope that has been dormant is going to spring to life with such vibrancy that you will wonder how you ever lived without it. Faith that has been weak is going to grow strong enough to move mountains. Love that has been blocked by hurt is going to flow freely again, making you a channel of blessing to everyone around you. There is a miracle of restoration coming to your family that will heal wounds that have been festering for years. Family members who have been estranged are going to come home with hearts full of repentance and love. Marriages that have been struggling are going to be renewed with fresh passion and commitment. Children who have been rebellious are going to return to the values you taught them with grateful hearts. Communication that is broken down is going to be restored with new depths of understanding and intimacy. Trust that has been shattered is going to be rebuilt stronger than it was before the betrayal occurred. Love that has grown cold is going to be rekindled with a flame that burns brighter than in the early days of your relationship. Forgiveness is going to flow like a river through your household, washing away years of accumulated hurt and resentment. Unity is going to replace division. Peace is going to replace conflict. Laughter is going to replace tears. Celebration is going to replace sorrow. There is a miracle of purpose and calling coming to your life that will give you a reason to wake up each morning with excitement and anticipation. Work that has been drudgery is going to become fulfilling and meaningful. Dreams that have been dormant are going to come alive with new possibilities. Talents that have been buried are going to be discovered and developed. Opportunities are going to open for you to use your gifts in ways that bring you deep satisfaction and make a significant impact on the world around you. Doors are going to open to platforms where your voice will be heard and your influence will extend far beyond what you ever imagined possible. Resources are going to become available for projects that are close to your heart. Partnerships are going to form that multiply your effectiveness and amplify your impact. Favor is going to open doors that you never could have opened through your own efforts. Wisdom is going to be given to you that enables you to make decisions with confidence and achieve success that surprises even you. But perhaps most importantly, there is a miracle of intimacy with me coming to your spiritual life that will transform every other area of your existence. You are going to experience my presence in ways that make all your previous spiritual experiences seem pale by comparison. You are going to hear my voice with such clarity that you will wonder how you ever made decisions without clear divine guidance. You are going to sense my love with such intensity that it will heal every wound in your heart and fill every empty place in your soul. You are going to walk in my peace with such consistency that circumstances will lose their power to disturb your inner tranquility. You are going to operate in my power with such effectiveness that miracles will become a normal part of your life experience. This intimacy with me will become the foundation that supports everything else in your life. When your relationship with me is strong and healthy, every other relationship improves. When you are secure in my love, you become more loving to others. When you are at peace with me, you become a peacemaker in your environment. When you are walking in my power, you become a source of strength and encouragement to everyone around you. I want you to understand that these miracles are not dependent on your performance or your perfection. They are not rewards for good behavior or payment for faithful service. They are expressions of my love for you, demonstrations of my commitment to your welfare, and manifestations of my desire to bless you beyond anything you could ask or imagine. You do not earn them by praying longer, giving more, serving harder, or trying to be better. You receive them by faith, by believing that I am good and that I delight in blessing my children, by trusting that I love you not because of what you do, but because of who you are, and by resting in my grace rather than striving in your own efforts. The miracles I have planned for your life are already finished in the spiritual realm. They are waiting for you to receive them by faith and begin walking in the reality of what I have already provided. They are held in reserve until the perfect moment when their manifestation will have the greatest impact on your life and the lives of those around you. Sometimes I delay the manifestation of miracles, not because I am reluctant to bless you, but because I am preparing you to handle the blessing in a way that honors me and benefits you long term. Sometimes I wait until your character has developed to the point where success will not corrupt you, where blessing will not make you proud, and where increase will not make you forget about me. Sometimes I delay because I am arranging circumstances so that when your miracle comes, it will be obvious to everyone that it could only have come from my hand. Sometimes I wait because there are other people who need to witness your breakthrough in order to strengthen their own faith. Sometimes I postpone because the timing is not yet perfect for maximum impact and glory to my name. But I want you to know that the delay is not denial. The waiting period is not a waste of time. The season of preparation is not a sign that I have forgotten you or changed my mind about your blessing. Every day of delay is a day of preparation. Every moment of waiting is a moment of positioning. Every season of testing is a season of strengthening. I am using this time to develop your faith, to build your character, to increase your capacity, to expand your vision, to deepen your compassion, and to strengthen your perseverance. I am preparing you not just to receive the miracle, but to steward it wisely, to use it for the benefit of others, and to glorify me through it. When your miracle comes, and it is coming, you will look back on this season of waiting with gratitude. You will understand why the timing had to be exactly as it was. You will see how every delay was actually perfect preparation. You will appreciate the process as much as you appreciate the outcome. I want to tell you about the supernatural encounters I have prepared for your future, divine appointments that will change the trajectory of your life in ways you cannot imagine. There are people you have not yet met who are going to become instrumental in your success. There are mentors who are going to pour wisdom into your life that accelerates your growth and development. There are partners who are going to join forces with you to accomplish things that neither of you could achieve alone. There are financial backers who are going to invest in your dreams when others said they were impossible. There are doors that are going to open through relationships you are about to form. There are opportunities that are going to be created through connections I am orchestrating right now behind the scenes. Some of these divine appointments are going to happen in the most unexpected places, at the most unlikely times. You might meet a person in an elevator who becomes your business partner. You might have a conversation in a coffee shop that leads to your dream job. You might help a stranger who turns out to be the person who holds the key to your breakthrough. I am positioning you right now for these encounters. I am moving you into the right place at the right time to intersect with the right people who carry the right resources for your next level. I am giving you divine favor that causes you to stand out in crowds, to be remembered by important people, and to make lasting impressions that open doors in the future. You are going to find that people are drawn to you for reasons they cannot explain. They are going to want to help you, to include you, to partner with you, and to invest in you. This favor is not based on your charm or your qualifications, though you certainly have both. This favor is supernatural, a tangible expression of my love for you that causes others to see you through my eyes. But while you wait for these miracles and encounters and breakthroughs, I want you to learn the art of sacred rest. I want to teach you how to be still in a world that never stops moving, how to find peace in a culture that promotes anxiety, and how to rest your soul even when your circumstances are chaotic. This kind of rest is not passivity or laziness. It is a confident trust that allows you to work from a place of rest rather than working for a place of rest. It is the ability to be productive without being frantic, to be responsible without being anxious, and to be engaged without being overwhelmed. When you learn to rest in me, you discover that you can accomplish more with less effort because you are working in my strength rather than your own. You can make better decisions because you are thinking clearly instead of being clouded by stress and pressure. You can enjoy the process of achieving your goals instead of just enduring it until you reach your destination. This rest begins in your thought life. Instead of allowing your mind to race with worry and anxiety, you learn to take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. You learn to interrupt negative thought patterns and replace them with my truth. You learn to focus on what is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, and admirable, instead of meditating on what is wrong, fearful, or discouraging. When worry tries to grip your mind, you immediately turn your attention to my promises. When fear tries to paralyze you, you speak my word over your situation. When anxiety tries to steal your peace, you cast your cares upon me and choose to trust in my goodness. This is not denial of reality. It is choosing to see reality from my perspective rather than from the limited viewpoint of human understanding. This rest extends to your emotions. You learn that you do not have to be controlled by your feelings, that you can acknowledge your emotions without being enslaved by them. You learn to feel your feelings without letting your feelings make your decisions. You learn to be honest about your struggles without being hopeless about your situation. When sadness comes, you allow yourself to feel it while remembering that joy comes in the morning. When disappointment hits, you grieve the loss while maintaining hope for what is coming. When fear arises, you acknowledge it while choosing to act in faith anyway. This emotional maturity allows you to navigate the ups and downs of life without being thrown off course by every storm. This rest manifests in your relationships. You learn to love people without trying to control them, to serve them without expecting anything in return, and to forgive them without waiting for them to deserve it. You learn to set healthy boundaries without being harsh, to say no without feeling guilty, and to take care of yourself so that you can better care for others. You learn that you are not responsible for other people's choices, reactions, or happiness. You are responsible to love them, but you are not responsible for their response to your love. You are responsible to forgive them, but you are not responsible for their willingness to change. You are responsible to be the best version of yourself, but you are not responsible for making them be the best version of themselves. This rest shows up in your work and ministry. You learn to do your part with excellence and integrity while trusting me to do my part in bringing about the results. You learn to plant and water while allowing me to bring the increase. You learn to work diligently while holding your plans loosely, knowing that I may redirect your path at any time. You learn that your worth is not determined by your productivity. Your value is not measured by your achievements, and your identity is not defined by your performance. You work because you love to create and contribute, not because you need to prove your worth. You serve because you are grateful for my love, not because you are trying to earn my approval. Most importantly, this rest deepens your intimacy with me. You learn to enjoy my presence without always asking for something. You learn to worship me for who I am, not just for what I do. You learn to find satisfaction in simply being with me, knowing me and loving me. You discover that I am not just your provider, protector, and problem solver, though I certainly am all of those things. I am also your friend who enjoys your company, your father who delights in your growth, and your beloved who treasures your love. Our relationship becomes less about what you need and more about mutual love and joy. This kind of intimacy with me becomes the source of everything else in your life. It is the well from which you draw strength for challenges, wisdom for decisions, peace for anxiety, hope for discouragement, and love for difficult people. When this relationship is healthy and strong, everything else in your life flows more smoothly. As you learn to rest in me, you become a source of rest for others. Your peaceful presence calms anxious hearts. Your steady faith strengthens wavering believers. Your quiet confidence inspires others to trust me more fully. You become a safe harbor for people who are struggling in the storms of life. People will be drawn to the peace they sense in your spirit. They will want to know what makes you different, why you are not stressed like everyone else, and how you stay so calm in the middle of chaos. This gives you opportunities to share my love with them, to invite them into the same rest that you have found in me. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You become living proof that it is possible to live differently in this world, to have peace in the middle of chaos, to have hope in the middle of darkness, and to have joy in the middle of sorrow. Your life becomes a testimony to my goodness and faithfulness. But tonight, as we prepare to close our time together, I want you to receive a special impartation of my rest. I want you to feel the weight of worry lifting from your shoulders. I want you to sense anxiety leaving your mind and peace filling your heart. I want you to experience a deep, profound relaxation in your spirit that penetrates every part of your being. Breathe deeply and feel my presence surrounding you like a warm, comforting embrace. Let go of every burden you have been carrying and feel them dissolving in my love. Release every fear that has been tormenting your mind and let my perfect love cast it out. Surrender every problem that has been consuming your thoughts and trust me to work them out for your good. Feel my peace flowing through your body, relaxing every tense muscle, calming every anxious nerve, and soothing every worried thought. Let my love wash over your heart like gentle waves, healing every hurt, comforting every pain, and filling every empty space with divine joy. This is not just a momentary experience. This is a new way of living that I am offering you. This is the abundant life I promised, the peace that passes understanding, the rest that I give to all who come to me with their burdens. From this night forward, you can live from this place of rest. You can face challenges from this position of peace. You can make decisions from this foundation of trust. You can love others from this overflow of my love. I want to tell you more about the deep work I am doing in your heart right now. Even as you hear these words, there's a transformation happening in your spirit that goes beyond external circumstances, beyond the miracles you can see with your physical eyes. I am changing you from the inside out, renewing your mind, healing your emotions, restoring your identity, and preparing you for levels of glory you have never experienced before. You see, my child, many people focus only on what they want me to change around them, but I am more interested in what I am changing within them. External miracles are wonderful, and I delight in blessing my children with provision, healing, restoration, and breakthrough. But the greatest miracle is what happens when I transform a human heart. When I take someone who has been broken and make them whole. When I take someone who has been defeated and make them victorious. And when I take someone who's been fearful and make them bold. This transformation that is happening in you right now is the foundation for every other blessing I want to give you. When your heart is aligned with mine, when your mind is renewed by my truth, and when your spirit is connected to my spirit, everything else in your life begins to flow according to my perfect plan. Your relationships improve because you are becoming more loving. Your work becomes more fulfilling because you are operating in your gifts. Your finances improve because you are learning to trust me as your provider. But most importantly, you begin to experience a quality of life that is not dependent on your circumstances. You develop an inner stability that cannot be shaken by external storms. You discover a peace that does not come from having all your problems solved, but from knowing that you are held by the one who has the power to solve any problem. You find a joy that is not based on everything going your way, but on the constant reality of my love for you. This transformation often happens gradually, layer by layer, as I gently heal old wounds and replace lies with truth. Sometimes you may not even notice the changes happening until one day you realize that you are responding differently to situations that used to overwhelm you. You find yourself at peace in circumstances that used to create anxiety. You discover that you are walking in confidence in areas where you used to be insecure. This is the miracle of sanctification, the process by which I make you more like Jesus. It is not something you achieve through your own effort or self-discipline, though cooperation with my Spirit is important. It is something I do in you by my grace. As you spend time in my presence, receive my love, meditate on my word, and allow my truth to renew your thinking, I want you to understand that this process is not about making you perfect or sinless, at least not in this lifetime. Before you go, share this message with one person who needs hope. Send a text, call them, or tell them in person. If you would like someone to pray with you, reach out tonight. Say the word prayer to a trusted friend, your prayer group, or your pastor, and ask them to stand with you. My child, listen closely to my voice, for this message is about making you whole, healthy, and authentically who you were meant to be. It is about helping you strip away the layers of the world and become the person I created you to be before sin and pain entered the world and distorted your true identity. It is about restoring you to the original flawless blueprint I had in mind when I knit you together in your mother's womb. If this is speaking to you right now, pause, take a breath, and type "I receive" structum below. As this beautiful transformation progresses, you will find that you are less concerned with impressing others and more interested in simply being genuinely yourself. You will discover that you are less afraid of rejection because your security comes from my eternal acceptance rather than human approval. You will notice that you are less anxious about the future because your hope is anchored in my faithfulness rather than in your ability to control circumstances. You will become more generous, not out of obligation, but because you trust me completely to provide for your needs. You will become more patient because you know that my timing is perfect, even when it does not match your schedule or preferences. You will become more forgiving because you understand how deeply and freely I have forgiven you. You will become more grateful because you are aware of how blessed you are, even in the midst of your current challenges. This transformation will make you attractive to others, not because you are trying to be impressive, but because there is something authentic and peaceful about your presence. People will be drawn to the stability they sense in your spirit, the hope they hear in your words, and the love they feel in your actions. You will become a safe place for wounded hearts, a source of encouragement for discouraged souls, and a beacon of hope for those who have lost their way. But even more than becoming a blessing to others, you will discover the joy of being fully alive in me. You will experience the deep satisfaction of living according to your design, using your gifts for their intended purpose, and walking in the calling I have placed on your life. You will know the deep contentment that comes from being in a right relationship with me, with others, and with yourself. If you feel that stir to say yes to this change, comment yes, so we can pray for you and stand with you in faith. I want to speak to you now about the future I have prepared for you. A future that is so much brighter and more beautiful than anything you have dared to imagine. I want to give you glimpses of what is coming so that you can hold on to hope during the difficult seasons and maintain expectation, even when progress seems slow. I see you walking in levels of anointing and authority that will astound you. I see you operating in gifts and abilities that you do not even know you possess yet. I see you influencing people and situations in ways that seem impossible from your current perspective. I see you making a difference in the world that extends far beyond your immediate circle of family and friends. I see you prospering in every area of your life, not just financially, though I do plan to bless you abundantly with material provision. I see you prospering spiritually, with a deep intimacy with me that sustains and strengthens you through every season. I see you prospering emotionally with a peace and joy that radiates from your inner being and affects everyone around you. I see you prospering physically with health and vitality that enables you to fulfill your purpose with energy and enthusiasm. I see you prospering relationally with connections that are deep, meaningful, and mutually beneficial. I see you surrounded by people who love you, support you, challenge you to grow, and celebrate your victories with genuine joy. I see you in relationships that are characterized by trust, respect, honest communication, and shared values. In your future, I see you free from the limitations that have held you back in the past, free from the fear that has paralyzed your progress, free from the shame that has kept you hiding your true self, free from the bitterness that has poisoned your relationships, free from the anxiety that has stolen your peace, free from the doubt that has undermined your faith. I see you confident in your identity as my beloved child, secure in my love, assured of your worth, and convinced of your purpose. I see you bold in your faith, courageous in your actions, generous in your giving, excellent in your work, faithful in your relationships, and consistent in your character. I see you as a person who prays with expectation and receives answers that strengthen not only your faith, but the faith of everyone who knows your story. I see you as someone who speaks my word with authority and sees circumstances change in response to the power of my truth. I see you as one who worships with such authenticity and passion that my presence becomes tangible to those around you. But perhaps most importantly, I see you as someone who knows how deeply loved you are. Someone who has received my love so fully that it overflows to everyone in your life. Someone who has been so transformed by grace that mercy flows naturally from your heart to others. Someone who has experienced my forgiveness so completely that you become a source of healing for those who have been wounded. This future is not just a distant dream or a maybe someday possibility. This future is your destiny, and I am working right now to prepare both you and your circumstances for its fulfillment. Every day, I am moving you closer to this reality. Every experience, even the difficult ones, is shaping you for the glory that is coming. The process may sometimes feel slow, but it is steady. The progress may sometimes seem invisible, but it is real. The preparation may sometimes feel unnecessary, but it is crucial. I am building something in your life that will last for eternity, something that will bring blessing not only to you, but to generations that come after you. I want you to know that I am proud of you. I am proud of how far you have come, even when you feel like you have not made much progress. I am proud of your faithfulness during difficult seasons, even when you feel like your faith has been weak. I am proud of your perseverance when you wanted to give up, your hope when circumstances looked hopeless, and your love when it would have been easier to become bitter. You may not see it yet, but you are becoming a person of great strength and character. You are developing wisdom that can only come through experience, compassion that can only come through suffering, and faith that can only come through testing. These qualities are being woven into the fabric of your being, creating a person who is prepared for the great things I have planned for your life. I want to tell you about the specific breakthroughs that are coming in your relationships, because I know this is an area where many of my children struggle and long for improvement. I see the desire of your heart for deeper connections, more authentic communication, greater intimacy, and lasting harmony with the people you love. In your marriage, if you are married, I am preparing a season of renewal that will exceed your expectations. I am going to restore passion where it has grown cold, rebuild trust where it has been damaged, and reignite romance where it has been neglected. I am going to give you and your spouse a fresh vision for your life together, new dreams to pursue as a team, and a deeper understanding of each other's hearts. The communication barriers that have frustrated you are going to come down. The misunderstandings that have caused conflict are going to be resolved. The patterns of hurt that have created distance are going to be broken and replaced with patterns of love, respect, and mutual support. You are going to discover new levels of intimacy, not just physical, but emotional and spiritual as well. If you are currently single, I am preparing you for a relationship that will exceed every expectation you have ever had about love. I am developing your character and healing your heart so that you will be ready to give and receive love in healthy ways. I am also preparing someone special whose heart is perfectly compatible with yours. Someone who will appreciate your uniqueness and complement your strengths. When the time is right, I will bring you together in a way that leaves no doubt that it was orchestrated by my hand. The connection will be natural, the compatibility will be obvious, and the peace about the relationship will be undeniable. You will wonder how you ever thought you could be satisfied with anything less than what I had planned for you. In your family relationships, I am bringing healing to wounds that have festered for too long, and restoration to connections that have been broken. Children who have been distant are going to come close. Parents who have been difficult are going to become supportive. Siblings who have been competitive are going to become cooperative. Extended family members who have been divided are going to be united. The forgiveness that needs to happen is going to flow like a river through your family tree, washing away years of accumulated hurt, resentment, and misunderstanding. Old grievances are going to be resolved, ancient conflicts are going to be settled, and long-standing patterns of dysfunction are going to be broken and replaced with patterns of health and harmony. Your children, if you have them, are going to surprise you with their wisdom, maturity, and good choices. The values you have tried to instill in them are going to take root and bear fruit. The prayers you have prayed over them are going to be answered in ways that exceed your hopes. The seeds of faith you have planted in their hearts are going to grow into mighty trees of righteousness. Even if they have wandered from the path for a season, even if they have made choices that broke your heart, even if they seem far from me right now, I am working in their lives in ways you cannot see. The foundation you have built in them is stronger than you realize. The love you have shown them has made a deeper impact than you know. The example you have set before them will bear fruit in due time. In your friendships, I am going to surround you with people who are not just companions, but true covenant friends. People who will stick by you through thick and thin, who will speak truth to you in love, who will celebrate your victories and support you through your struggles. You will discover the joy of relationships that are based on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine care for each other's well-being. At the same time, I may be removing some relationships from your life that have been draining your energy or hindering your growth. This process may be painful at first, but you will eventually see it as a mercy that made room for the better relationships I wanted to bring into your life. Not every person is meant to be in every season of your journey, and I know exactly which connections serve your highest good. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. If you know someone who needs this promise, share it or tag them now so they can be encouraged. I also want to speak to you about the miraculous provision I am releasing into your financial life. I know that money concerns have been a source of stress and anxiety for you, and I want to put those fears to rest once and for all. I want you to know that I am your provider, and I take that responsibility very seriously. Your current financial challenges are not a reflection of my inability to provide for you or my unwillingness to bless you. They are temporary circumstances that I am using to teach you to trust me, to develop your faith, and to prepare you to handle greater resources with wisdom and generosity. Sometimes lack is not a curse, but a classroom where you learn lessons that will serve you well when abundance comes. I am about to open floodgates of provision in your life that will astound you. Resources are going to come to you from sources you never expected, through channels you never imagined, in amounts that exceed your current needs and enable you to be a blessing to others. The drought you have been experiencing is about to end, and the rain of blessing is going to be so abundant that you will not be able to contain it all. This provision is going to come through supernatural means as well as natural means. I will use your job, your business, your investments, and your relationships to channel blessings to you. But I will also surprise you with unexpected windfalls, divine connections, miraculous opportunities, and favor that opens doors you could never open yourself. You are going to receive payment for work you did not do, profit from investments you did not make, benefits from relationships you did not pursue, and rewards from seeds you do not remember planting. I am going to cause people to think of you for opportunities, to recommend you for positions, to include you in profitable ventures, and to trust you with important responsibilities. But beyond just meeting your needs, I am going to enable you to live generously, to give abundantly, to support causes that are close to my heart, and to invest in people and projects that make a difference in the world. You are going to discover the joy that comes from being a channel of blessing rather than just a recipient of blessing. This financial breakthrough is going to bring freedom not just from debt and lack, but from the anxiety and stress that come from financial insecurity. You are going to sleep peacefully knowing that I am your provider. You are going to make decisions based on wisdom and calling rather than just financial pressure. You are going to be able to be generous without being foolish and to trust without being careless. I want to tell you about the healing miracles I am preparing for your body, mind, and emotions. I know that you may be dealing with physical conditions that cause pain, limit your activity, or threaten your future. I want you to know that I see every symptom, feel every ache, understand every limitation, and I am moved with compassion to bring healing and restoration to your body. The healing I bring is not always instant, though sometimes it is. Sometimes I heal gradually, allowing your body to respond to treatments and therapies while I work behind the scenes to accelerate the process and ensure complete restoration. Sometimes I heal by giving you supernatural strength and peace that enables you to live fully in spite of physical limitations. But whether my healing comes suddenly or progressively, completely or partially, I want you to know that I am working on your behalf. I am strengthening your immune system, correcting what is wrong, protecting what is healthy, and preparing your body to serve you well for many years to come. Beyond physical healing, I am bringing emotional healing that may be even more important than the restoration of your body. I am healing wounds that have affected your ability to trust, to love, to hope, and to dream. I am removing trauma that has limited your capacity for joy, intimacy, and peace. I am restoring your emotional equilibrium so that you can respond to life from a place of stability rather than reactivity. Mental healing is also part of my plan for you. If you have struggled with depression, anxiety, confusion, or mental fog, I want you to know that these are not permanent conditions. They are temporary challenges that I am using to teach you to depend on me and to develop compassion for others who struggle in similar ways. I am renewing your mind, clearing your thoughts, restoring your mental clarity, and giving you emotional stability that enables you to think clearly, make wise decisions, and enjoy life to the fullest. The cloudiness is going to lift, the confusion is going to clear, the heaviness is going to be replaced with lightness, and the anxiety is going to be replaced with peace. I want to speak to you about the ministry and calling that I am preparing for your life. Whether you see yourself as a minister or not, whether you have formal religious training or not, whether you work in a church or in the marketplace, I have called you to be my representative in this world. You have a unique assignment that no one else can fulfill. This calling may be expressed through formal ministry, but it may also be expressed through your career, your family life, your community involvement, or your creative pursuits. The important thing is not the platform, but the purpose, not the position, but the passion, not the recognition, but the righteousness. I'm going to give you opportunities to influence people for good, to make a difference in their lives, to point them toward hope and healing and wholeness. These opportunities may come through casual conversations, acts of kindness, professional interactions, or times of crisis when people need someone who can offer comfort and wisdom. You are going to discover gifts and abilities that you did not know you had. You may find that you have a gift for encouragement that helps people overcome depression. You may discover that you have a gift for teaching that helps people understand important truths. You may realize that you have a gift for leadership that helps people achieve their potential. Whatever your specific gifts may be, I am going to develop them, refine them, and create opportunities for you to use them in ways that bring blessing to others and glory to my name. You are going to be amazed at what I can do through a yielded heart, a willing spirit, and a life that is surrendered to my purposes. But perhaps most importantly, you are going to discover the satisfaction that comes from living according to your design, fulfilling your purpose, and making a difference in the world. This is not about earning salvation or proving your worth, both of which are already established through my love and grace. This is about experiencing the joy that comes from partnership with me in the work of redemption and restoration. But before I speak my final blessing over your life, I want you to understand something that will revolutionize how you see every day for the rest of your life. You are not just living through random days, hoping something good will happen to you. You are living in the unfolding of a divine masterpiece that I began writing before the foundation of the world. Every morning when you wake up, you are stepping into another page of the greatest story ever told. The story of my love for humanity and my plan to redeem and restore all things. You are not just a passive observer of this story. You are an active participant, a main character whose choices matter, whose actions have consequences, and whose faith can literally move mountains. I want you to wake up each morning with the understanding that today could be the day when everything changes. When the breakthrough you have been praying for manifests, when the miracle you need appears, when the door you have been knocking on finally opens. This is not wishful thinking or positive psychology. This is the reality of living in relationship with a God who specializes in divine appointments and supernatural interventions. Think about the woman with the issue of blood who had suffered for 12 years, spending all her money on physicians who could not help her, growing weaker with each passing day. She could have stayed home that day, wallowing in her misery, accepting her condition as permanent, believing that nothing would ever change for the better. But something inside her, some spark of faith, some flicker of hope, told her that today might be different. She heard that Jesus was passing through her town, and she made a decision that changed everything. She pressed through the crowd, reached out in faith, and touched the hem of his garment. In that moment, power went out from Jesus and into her body, healing her instantly and completely. 12 years of suffering ended in a single touch. 12 years of hopelessness were replaced with wholeness. 12 years of despair were transformed into dancing. But here is what I want you to understand. If she had not gotten up that day, if she had not pushed through the crowd, if she had not reached out in faith, she would have missed her miracle. The power was available, the healing was possible, but it required her participation, her faith, her action. In the same way, I have miracles prepared for you that require your participation. I have blessings waiting for you that require your faith. I have opportunities arranged for you that require your action. You cannot receive in your pajamas what requires you to get dressed and go after it. This does not mean you earn my blessings through your works, or that you manipulate my hand through your efforts. It means that I have designed life to require partnership between divine power and human faith, between heavenly provision and earthly action, between supernatural intervention and natural participation. Consider the story of the 10 lepers who cried out to Jesus for mercy. As he entered a certain village, Jesus heard their cry and told them to go and show themselves to the priests. Now, according to the law, only clean lepers were supposed to present themselves to the priests. These men were still obviously leprous, still bearing the signs of their disease, still carrying the shame of their condition. But they chose to obey Jesus' word, even when they could not see any evidence that they had been healed. As they went in faith, as they acted on his word before they saw the results, they were cleansed. Their healing manifested during their obedience, not before it. This is how faith works in partnership with my power. I speak a word, you act on that word, even when you cannot see the evidence yet, and my power manifests through your obedience. Your action does not create the miracle, but it releases the miracle that I have already prepared. I am speaking words over your life right now that will manifest as you act on them in faith. I am declaring promotion over your career, and it will manifest as you step out in faith and pursue new opportunities. I am declaring healing over your body, and it will manifest as you speak life over yourself and refuse to accept sickness as permanent. I am declaring restoration over your relationships, and it will manifest as you choose to forgive, as you extend love even when it is not returned, as you speak blessings over those who have hurt you. I am declaring financial breakthrough over your situation, and it will manifest as you practice generosity even in your lack, as you tithe even when it seems like you cannot afford to, as you trust me with your resources. Your breakthrough is not just going to fall out of heaven onto your head while you sit passively waiting. Your breakthrough is going to come through a partnership between my power and your faith, between my provision and your action, between my word and your obedience. Speak this with me now out loud. I will partner with God and step forward. Then type partner below so we can celebrate your first step together. I want you to understand that every day you are alive, you are living in a season of acceleration. Things that used to take years to accomplish can now happen in months. Things that used to take months can now happen in weeks. Things that used to take weeks can now happen in days. This is not just technological acceleration, though that is certainly part of it. This is spiritual acceleration, a quickening of my spirit that is compressing time frames and multiplying results. Dreams that seemed impossible are suddenly becoming possible. Doors that seemed permanently closed are suddenly opening. People who seemed unreachable are suddenly responding. This acceleration means that you cannot judge your future by your past. What took your parents 20 years to accomplish, you might accomplish in 5 years. What took the previous generation a lifetime to achieve, your generation might achieve in a decade. But this acceleration requires you to think differently, to dream bigger, to expect more, to prepare for increase that comes faster than you anticipated. You cannot have small thinking and expect to participate in God's big plans. You cannot have limited expectations and expect to receive unlimited blessings. I am calling you to expand your vision, enlarge your capacity, and prepare for blessings that exceed your current ability to contain them. I am calling you to think generationally, not just personally. The blessings I am preparing for you are not just for your benefit, but for the benefit of your children and your children's children. I am establishing generational blessings through your life that will flow to your descendants for generations to come. The breakthrough you receive will become the foundation for even greater breakthrough for those who come after you. The doors I open for you will remain open for your children to walk through. The favor I show you will cover your family line for generations. This is why the enemy fights so hard against your breakthrough. He knows that when you break through, you are not just breaking through for yourself. You are breaking through for your entire family line. You are establishing a new normal for your descendants. You are creating a legacy of victory that will inspire and empower generations to come. Think about Abraham, whose obedience established a covenant that blessed not just him but his descendants for thousands of years. His decision to leave his country and follow God by faith created a legacy of blessing that we are still experiencing today. His willingness to trust God with his son Isaac secured promises that affected the entire world. When God promised to make Abraham a blessing, it was not just about Abraham. It was about the nations that would be blessed through his descendants, the Messiah who would come through his lineage, the covenant that would last forever. In the same way, your obedience today is not just about your immediate circumstances. It is about the generations that will come after you, the legacy you are creating, the foundation you are laying for future breakthrough. Your faithfulness today is creating opportunities for your children that they could never create for themselves. Your breakthrough is about to become their inheritance. Your victory is about to become their starting point. Your success is about to become their stepping stone to even greater success. This is why you must not give up, why you must keep believing, why you must continue to fight the good fight of faith. You are not just fighting for yourself, you are fighting for your family's future. You are not just praying for your own breakthrough, you are praying for generational transformation. You are not just believing for your own success, you are believing for a legacy that will outlive you. I want to tell you about some specific areas where I am about to bring breakthrough in your life. These are not general promises that could apply to anyone. These are specific words for your specific situation, targeted interventions that I am preparing for your exact circumstances. In your finances, I am about to surprise you with provision that comes from unexpected sources. That money you need for your child's education, for that medical bill, for that home repair, for that debt payment is about to show up in ways that will leave you amazed at my creativity and faithfulness. I am opening streams of income that you have not even thought of yet. I am connecting you with opportunities that are perfectly suited to your skills and schedule. I am bringing you favor with people who have the ability to change your financial picture dramatically. That investment you thought was lost is about to recover and multiply. That business idea you thought was impractical is about to become profitable. That skill you thought was unmarketable is about to become your primary source of income. In your health, I am about to reverse conditions that doctors said were irreversible. I am about to heal diseases that medicine cannot cure. I am about to restore strength that age has diminished. I am about to give you energy that medications could not provide. That pain that has been your constant companion is about to leave and never return. That diagnosis that filled you with fear is about to be replaced with a clean bill of health. That medication you thought you would have to take for the rest of your life is about to become unnecessary. I am about to do such a complete work of healing in your body that even your doctors will be amazed. They will have no medical explanation for your recovery and will be forced to admit that something supernatural has taken place. In your relationships, I am about to soften hearts that seemed permanently hardened. I am about to heal wounds that seemed too deep to mend. I am about to restore communication where there has been only silence. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I am about to bring reconciliation where there has been only separation. That family member who has been distant is about to reach out. That friend who disappeared is about to reconnect. That spouse who has been cold is about to warm up again. That child who has been rebellious is about to come home. I am about to heal your marriage in ways that make it stronger than it was before the problems began. I am about to restore your family relationships in ways that create deeper bonds than existed before the conflict arose. In your career, I am about to open doors that you did not even know existed. I am about to connect you with people who will become catalysts for your advancement. I am about to give you ideas that will revolutionize your industry. That promotion you have been hoping for is about to be offered to you. That position you thought you were not qualified for is about to become available. That company you wanted to work for is about to express interest in hiring you. I am about to establish you in a career that not only pays well, but also fulfills your deepest sense of purpose. You are about to discover that it is possible to love what you do for a living and to be compensated generously for work that brings you joy. In your spiritual life, I am about to take you deeper into my presence than you have ever been before. I am about to give you understanding of my word that will amaze you. I am about to use you in ways that will surprise you with their impact. That calling you felt when you were younger is about to be activated. Those spiritual gifts that have been dormant are about to come alive. That ministry you thought you were not qualified for is about to begin. I am about to use your story, your struggles, your testimony to help others who are going through what you have overcome. Your pain is about to become your platform. Your mess is about to become your message. Your test is about to become your testimony. But I need you to prepare for these breakthroughs by aligning your thoughts, your words, and your expectations with my promises. I need you to start speaking as if these things are already in motion because they are. I need you to start believing as if these miracles are already guaranteed because they are. I need you to start living with the expectation that today could be the day when everything changes because it could be. I need you to start making decisions based on where you are going, not where you have been, because your future is more real than your past. This requires a shift in how you see yourself, how you see your circumstances, and how you see your future. You can no longer afford to see yourself as a victim of circumstances. You must see yourself as a victor over circumstances. You can no longer afford to see your problems as permanent. You must see them as temporary and subject to change. You can no longer afford to see your future as limited by your past. You must see your future as unlimited because it is connected to my unlimited power, my unlimited love, my unlimited resources, and my unlimited faithfulness. This shift in perspective will change everything about how you approach each day. Instead of waking up wondering what bad thing might happen, you will wake up expecting what good thing will happen. Instead of going to bed worried about tomorrow, you will go to bed excited about tomorrow. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, you will see them as opportunities. Instead of seeing setbacks as defeats, you will see them as setups for comebacks. Instead of seeing delays as denials, you will see them as divine timing working in your favor. This is the mindset of a victor, the perspective of an overcomer, the worldview of someone who knows that greater is he who is in them than he who is in the world. This is how children of the King think, speak, and live. If you want a daily reminder of these truths, subscribe and turn on notifications now so you won't miss the word that will fuel your faith. I want to speak to you about the incredible journey you are about to embark on. A journey that will transform not just your circumstances, but your entire understanding of who you are and what you are capable of accomplishing through my power working in and through you. You are about to discover that the limitations you have accepted as permanent are actually temporary barriers that dissolve when exposed to faith. You are about to learn that the mountains you thought were immovable can be spoken to, and they must obey your voice when you speak with my authority. You are about to realize that the giant problems that have intimidated you are no match for the giant God who lives inside you. You are about to understand that the storms that have threatened to destroy you are actually under the authority of the one who created the wind and waves and commands them to be still. Consider Moses. who thought his speech impediment disqualified him from leadership, but discovered that God uses the weak things of this world to confound the wise. When God called him to deliver Israel from Egypt, Moses focused on his limitations rather than God's power. He said, "I am slow of speech and tongue." But God said, "I will help you speak and will teach you what to say." Moses learned that God does not call the equipped, God equips the called. Moses learned that his weakness became the platform for God's strength to be displayed. When Moses stretched his staff over the Red Sea and it parted, everyone knew that only God could have done such a thing. When Moses struck the rock and water gushed out in the wilderness, it was clear that this was not human ingenuity, but divine intervention. Like Moses, you are about to discover that your perceived weaknesses are actually opportunities for God's strength to be magnified. Your inadequacies are invitations for God's adequacy to be revealed. Your limitations are platforms for God's unlimited power to be demonstrated. Think about Gideon, who was hiding in a winepress, threshing wheat in fear of the enemy, when the angel of the Lord appeared to him and called him a mighty warrior. Gideon looked around to see who the angel was talking to, because he certainly did not see himself as mighty or warlike. He was the least in his father's house from the smallest tribe in Israel, hiding from an enemy that had oppressed his people for 7 years. But God saw not who Gideon was, but who Gideon could become when filled with divine power and purpose. God instructed Gideon to tear down his father's altar to Baal, which was an act of courage that began to build Gideon's confidence in God's protection and power. Then God called Gideon to gather an army to fight the Midianites, but the army was too large. God reduced Gideon's army from 32,000 to 10,000 to 300, not because he wanted to make the battle harder, but because he wanted to make it clear that victory would come by divine power, not human strength. When 300 men with torches and trumpets routed an army of 135,000, everyone knew that God had given the victory. Like Gideon, you are about to discover that God's power is made perfect in weakness, that his strength is most clearly displayed when human strength is obviously insufficient. You are about to learn that God loves to use the unlikely, the overlooked, and the underestimated to accomplish his purposes. Consider David, the shepherd boy who became a king, who learned to trust God with small things before God trusted him with big things. When David volunteered to fight Goliath, everyone focused on the giant's size, his armor, his weapons, his experience in battle. But David focused on God's track record in his own life. He remembered how God had delivered him from the paw of the lion and the bear when they threatened his sheep. David understood that the same God who gave him victory over wild animals could give him victory over this Philistine giant. David did not fight Goliath with conventional weapons, but with the weapons he was familiar with, the weapons God had already blessed in his hands. He took his sling and 5 smooth stones, ran toward the giant instead of away from him, and declared that the battle belonged to the Lord. When that stone found its mark and Goliath fell, it was a demonstration that faith in God can overcome any opposition, no matter how intimidating it appears. David's victory over Goliath became the foundation for a lifetime of victories, because he learned early that God fights for those who trust in him. Like David, you are about to discover that the giants in your life are not as powerful as they appear. They are intimidating when you look at them from a human perspective. but they shrink down to size when you see them from God's perspective. They are about to fall. Consider Esther, an orphan Jewish girl who became queen of Persia and was positioned by God to save her entire people from destruction. She did not seek the position, did not lobby for the opportunity, did not manipulate circumstances to her advantage. But when the moment came for her to act, when her people's survival depended on her courage, she understood that she had been positioned for such a time as this. Her courage saved not just her own life, but the lives of all the Jewish people in the Persian Empire. Her willingness to risk everything for others became the foundation for the celebration of Purim that continues to this day. Like Esther, you have been positioned for such a time as this. The challenges you are facing, the opportunities that are opening, the relationships you are building, the skills you are developing are all part of God's preparation for the moment when you will be called to step into your destiny. You may feel like you are not ready, not qualified, not equipped for what God is calling you to do. But remember that God does not call you because you are ready. He makes you ready because He has called you. He does not choose you because you are qualified. He qualifies you because He has chosen you. Your background may not seem impressive by worldly standards, but God specializes in taking ordinary people and doing extraordinary things through them. Your education may not be from the most prestigious institutions, but God can give you wisdom that surpasses any degree. Your experience may not include all the items on someone's wish list, but God can open doors that no amount of experience can open. I want you to understand that you are entering a season of divine alignment where everything is working together for your good. The people you meet, the opportunities you encounter, the challenges you face, the lessons you learn are all part of a divine orchestration that is preparing you for your next level. This divine alignment means that you will begin to see patterns and connections that you never noticed before. You will start to understand how seemingly unrelated events in your past were actually preparing you for what you are about to walk into. You will realize that the job you did not enjoy was teaching you skills you would need later. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every experience, every lesson, every triumph, every failure has been working together to prepare you for this moment when God begins to unveil His master plan for your life. You are about to see connections you never saw before, understand purposes you never understood before, and walk in a level of clarity about your destiny that you have never experienced before. I want to speak to you about the incredible favor that is about to rest upon your life in ways that will amaze you and everyone who knows your story. This is not just temporary blessing or momentary success, but sustained favor that will follow you wherever you go and open doors that human effort could never open. This favor will cause people to think of you when opportunities arise, cause your name to come up in conversations you are not part of when decisions are being made that will benefit you. It will cause people to want to help you succeed, even when they cannot explain why they feel drawn to support you. This favor will cause your work to be noticed, your talents to be recognized, your contributions to be valued, and your input to be sought. You will find yourself being invited to participate in opportunities that are perfectly suited to your gifts and calling. This favor will cause resources to flow toward you from unexpected sources, connections to be made that benefit your purpose, and provision to show up in ways that exceed your needs. But this favor comes with responsibility. It is not given to you so that you can live a life of ease and self-indulgence, but so that you can be a conduit of blessing to others. It is not meant to make you feel superior to others, but to enable you to lift others up. As God blesses you, He expects you to be a blessing. This is how the kingdom of God works. Blessing flows downhill from those who have been blessed to those who need blessing. When you understand this principle and live by it, you position yourself to receive even greater blessing because God can trust you to handle it properly. You are about to step into a season of supernatural provision where your needs are met before you even realize you have them, where solutions appear before problems fully develop, where doors open before you even know you need to walk through them. This is the realm of divine anticipation, where God's provision precedes your recognition of need. In this season, you will discover that God is not just reactive to your circumstances, but proactive in your preparation. He is already arranging tomorrow's breakthrough while you are dealing with today's challenge. He is already positioning next year's blessing while you are managing this year's budget. This supernatural provision will manifest in ways that are uniquely suited to your personality, your situation, and your season of life. For some, it will come through career advancement that seems to happen effortlessly. For others, it will come through business opportunities that fall into their lap. For still others, it will come through investments that prosper beyond all natural expectation. The common denominator will not be the method, but the source. Whether the provision comes through natural means or supernatural intervention, you will know that it comes from God because of the timing, the amount, and the way it perfectly meets your specific needs. You are also about to experience a new level of peace that passes all understanding. A peace that is not dependent on your circumstances, but flows from your confidence in God's character and promises. This peace will guard your heart and mind even when everything around you seems chaotic. This peace will enable you to make clear decisions when others are confused, to remain calm when others are panicking, to speak words of faith when others are speaking words of fear. This peace will become a magnet that draws others to you because they will sense something different about you, something they cannot quite explain but deeply desire. This peace will also become a foundation for your family's emotional health. Your children will feel secure even when external circumstances are uncertain because they will sense your confidence in God's protection and provision. Your spouse will find rest in your presence because your peace will be contagious. I want to speak to you about the incredible transformation that is taking place in your prayer life. A transformation that will revolutionize how you communicate with me and how I respond to your requests. You are moving from a place of begging and pleading to a place of bold declaration and confident expectation. You are learning to pray, not as a beggar hoping for crumbs, but as a beloved child who knows they have access to their Father's unlimited resources. This transformation in your prayer life will change everything about your relationship with me. Instead of approaching me with fear and uncertainty, you will approach me with confidence and expectation. Instead of wondering if I hear your prayers, you will know that every word you speak reaches my ears and moves my heart. You are learning to pray the promises instead of the problems, to declare what I have said instead of describing what you see. to speak faith instead of fear, to proclaim victory instead of rehearsing defeat. This shift in your prayer language will release new levels of power and produce results that will amaze you. When you pray the promises, you are not trying to convince me to do something I don't want to do. You are aligning your words with my will, your desires with my purposes, your expectations with my character. You are essentially saying, God, you promised this, and I am holding you to your word. This kind of praying moves my heart because it demonstrates faith in my character, confidence in my promises, and trust in my faithfulness. When you pray this way, you are not begging me to change my mind. You are positioning yourself to receive what I have already determined to give you. You are also learning to pray with authority, understanding that you are not just making requests, but issuing decrees from heaven's perspective. You are learning that your words have creative power when they are aligned with my word, that your declarations can shift atmospheres, that your proclamations can change circumstances. This authority in prayer comes not from your perfection, but from your position as my child. It flows not from your goodness, but from my grace. It operates not through your strength, but through my power working in and through you. When you speak to mountains and command them to move, when you declare healing over sick bodies, when you proclaim breakthrough over impossible situations, you are not speaking your own words, but my words through your voice. You are not operating in your own authority, but in the authority I have given you as my representative on earth. This understanding will transform not only how you pray, but also how you live. You will begin to see yourself not as a victim of circumstances, but as an agent of change. You will understand that you have been given authority to influence your environment, to impact your generation, to leave a legacy that will outlive you. You are also about to experience a new dimension of worship that will connect you to my presence in ways you have never experienced before. This is not just about singing songs or attending services, though these have their place. This is about a lifestyle of worship where every action becomes an offering. Every word becomes praise, every thought becomes an opportunity to honor me. In this dimension of worship, you will discover that my presence is not confined to church buildings or special occasions, but is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You will learn to access my presence while driving to work, while cooking dinner, while folding laundry, while helping your children with homework. This constant awareness of my presence will transform even mundane activities into opportunities for fellowship with me. You will find yourself having conversations with me throughout the day, receiving wisdom for decisions, gaining insight for challenges, experiencing peace in the midst of chaos. This lifestyle of worship will also become a powerful weapon against the enemy's attacks. When you are in constant communion with me, when praise is always on your lips, when thanksgiving fills your heart, the enemy finds no place to establish his lies, no opportunity to plant his seeds of doubt and fear. Worship becomes a fortress around your mind, a shield over your emotions, and an atmosphere of victory that surrounds your life. The enemy cannot operate effectively in an environment saturated with worship, because worship declares my greatness, celebrates my goodness, and proclaims my victory. You are about to discover gifts and abilities that you never knew you possessed, talents that have been dormant, waiting for the right season to emerge, skills that will surprise you with their power and effectiveness. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. These gifts are not random or coincidental. They are strategic endowments given to you for such a time as this. Some of these gifts will be supernatural in nature, flowing directly from my spirit through yours to minister to others in ways that only divine power can accomplish. You may discover that you have a gift for healing, for prophecy, for discernment, for faith that moves mountains, for miracles that astound observers. Other gifts will be more natural in appearance, but supernatural in their effectiveness. You may find that you have an unusual ability to encourage people, to solve problems, to create solutions, to lead others, to communicate truth in ways that penetrate hearts and transform lives. These gifts will not come to you fully mature, but will develop as you use them in faith, as you step out of your comfort zone, as you trust me to work through you even when you feel inadequate for the task. Remember that I use the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, the weak things to shame the strong. Your willingness to be used by me, even in your weakness, creates space for my strength to be displayed. Your availability is more important than your ability, because I can provide the ability when you provide the availability. You are also about to step into a new level of influence, where your voice will be heard by people you never expected to reach, where your testimony will impact lives you never thought you could touch, where your obedience will create ripple effects that will reach far beyond anything you can imagine. This influence will not come through self-promotion or manipulation, but through authentic relationship and genuine love. People will be drawn to you not because you are perfect, but because you are real, not because you have all the answers, but because you know the one who does. Your influence will grow organically as people observe the transformation in your life, as they witness the peace in your storm, as they see the joy in your trials, as they experience the love in your responses to difficult people and challenging circumstances. This influence will create opportunities for you to share my love with people who would never darken the door of a church, but are hungry for authentic relationship with their Creator. Your workplace will become a mission field. Your neighborhood will become a harvest field. Your family will become a demonstration of my power to heal and restore. You will find yourself in conversations you never initiated, answering questions you were never asked directly, providing hope to people who had given up, offering peace to those who are anxious, demonstrating love to those who feel unloved. This is how the kingdom of God advances, not through programs or presentations, but through relationships and authentic demonstrations of my power, working in and through ordinary people who have learned to trust in an extraordinary God. You are about to become a living epistle, read by all who encounter you, a walking testimony of my goodness, a breathing demonstration of my love. People will see me through you, hear my voice through your words, feel my touch through your actions. This is not about becoming perfect or pretending to have it all together. This is about becoming transparent enough for my light to shine through you, vulnerable enough for my strength to be seen in your weakness, authentic enough for my love to be experienced through your relationships. The world is not looking for more perfect people. It has given up on that possibility. The world is looking for real people who have found real hope, genuine peace, authentic love, and lasting joy. They want to know that transformation is possible, that change is available, that their best days can still be ahead of them. They will find hope in your story. You will become living proof that I am still in the business of changing lives, healing hearts, restoring relationships, and fulfilling dreams. Your story will become their hope. Your testimony will become their encouragement. Your transformation will become their inspiration to believe that if God can do it for you, He can do it for them too. I want to speak to you about the incredible restoration that is taking place in your family relationships, the healing that is coming to wounded connections, and the supernatural unity that will replace division and strife. Some of you have been praying for family members for years, believing for breakthrough in relationships that seem impossible to repair. I want you to know that your faithfulness in prayer has not gone unnoticed, and the breakthrough you have been believing for is closer than you think. The walls that have been built between you and your loved ones are about to come down. The silence that has existed where conversation should flourish is about to be broken by divine intervention. The hearts that have been hardened by hurt and disappointment are about to be softened by supernatural love and forgiveness. I am going to do something beautiful in your family that will astound everyone who knows your story. Relationships that seemed dead are about to be resurrected. Communication that was broken is about to be restored. Love that was buried under layers of hurt is about to be uncovered and renewed. This restoration will not happen because people suddenly become perfect, or because all problems magically disappear. It will happen because I am releasing a spirit of forgiveness that will enable people to release offenses they have carried for years. I am pouring out a grace that will help family members see each other through my eyes instead of through the lens of past failures. Some of you have children who have walked away from faith, who have made choices that broke your heart, who seem determined to live life on their own terms without regard for my ways or your values. I want you to know that I have not given up on them, and you should not give up on them either. The seeds of truth you planted in their hearts when they were young are still there, buried, perhaps, but not dead. The prayers you have prayed over their lives have created a hedge of protection around them that they cannot see, but that prevents the enemy from destroying them completely. The love you have shown them, even when they were unlovable, has left an imprint on their hearts that will eventually draw them back to truth. I am going to use their rebellion to teach them lessons they could never learn any other way. I am going to allow them to experience the emptiness of life without me, so they will appreciate the fullness of life with me. I am going to let them discover that the boundaries you set were not restrictions, but protections. That the values you taught were not limitations, but guidelines for abundant living. When they return, and they will return, they will come back with a depth of appreciation for truth that they never could have developed without experiencing the alternative. They will value my love more deeply because they have experienced life without it. They will treasure their relationship with you more fully because they have felt the pain of separation. For those of you who are believing for healing in marriages that seem beyond repair, I want to speak hope into your situation. The enemy has worked overtime to destroy the sacred covenant of marriage because he knows that strong marriages produce strong families, and strong families produce strong communities. and strong communities can change nations. But what the enemy intended for destruction, I will use for demonstration. Your marriage is about to become a testimony of my power to heal, restore, and renew. The love that seems dead is about to be resurrected. The trust that was shattered is about to be rebuilt. The communication that broke down is about to be restored. This will require supernatural grace from both parties, a willingness to forgive offenses that feel unforgivable, and a commitment to build new patterns of interaction based on my love rather than past failures. But I will provide the grace needed, the strength required, and the wisdom necessary to navigate this restoration process. Your marriage is going to become a beacon of hope to other couples who are struggling. People will ask you how you made it through, how you found your way back to love, how you rebuilt what seemed completely destroyed. Your testimony will give them courage to keep fighting for their own relationships. I also want to speak to those of you who are believing for the salvation of family members who seem completely resistant to the gospel. Your parents, your siblings, your extended family members who mock your faith, who resist your invitations to church, who seem determined to live life without acknowledging my existence. I want you to know that your consistent love, your faithful prayers, and your authentic lifestyle are having more impact than you realize. They may not show it, but they are watching how you handle difficulties, how you respond to challenges, how you treat others, how you live out your faith when no one is forcing you to do so. Your authenticity is slowly breaking down their defenses. Your love is gradually melting their resistance. Your prayers are creating divine encounters that will eventually lead to their surrender to my love and grace. Some of them will come to me in dramatic fashion through miraculous interventions that will leave no doubt about my existence and power. Others will come quietly in private moments when they finally admit their need for forgiveness and salvation. But they will come because I am not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. The breakthrough in your family relationships will create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate household. Your children will learn valuable lessons about forgiveness, restoration, and the power of persistent prayer. They will see firsthand that no situation is hopeless, that no relationship is beyond repair, that no heart is too hard for my love to penetrate. These lessons will shape how they handle their own relationships in the future. They will approach marriage with greater commitment because they have seen what it means to fight for love. They will raise their own children with deeper wisdom because they have witnessed the power of faithful parenting. They will face challenges with stronger faith because they have observed my faithfulness in their family's story. I want to speak to you about the incredible financial breakthrough that is about to manifest in your life. But I want you to understand that this is not just about money or material possessions. This financial increase is strategic, purposeful, and connected to the assignment I have placed on your life. You are about to experience provision that far exceeds your current needs, because I am preparing you for opportunities that will require resources you do not currently possess. I am increasing your capacity to give because I want to increase your opportunity to impact lives, advance my kingdom, and leave a legacy that will last for generations. This financial breakthrough will come through multiple streams, not just a single source. I am diversifying your income, multiplying your opportunities, and creating financial stability that cannot be shaken by economic uncertainty or market volatility. Some of this increase will come through the normal progression of your career, as I open doors of promotion, create opportunities for advancement, and cause your work to be recognized and rewarded. Some will come through unexpected sources, as I move on the hearts of people to bless you in ways that surprise you. Some will come through supernatural intervention, as I provide for you through means that cannot be explained by natural circumstances. Checks will come in the mail from sources you never expected. Opportunities will present themselves that generate income in ways you never anticipated. Debts will be canceled in ways that seem miraculous. But with every increase in financial resources comes an increase in responsibility to use these resources for my glory and the advancement of my purposes. I am not increasing your wealth so you can live in luxury while others suffer in poverty. I am increasing your capacity so you can increase your impact. You will become a conduit of blessing to others, a source of provision for ministries and causes that are close to my heart, a means of meeting needs and solving problems that require financial resources. As your financial situation improves, you will discover the incredible joy that comes from generous giving. You will experience the supernatural blessing that accompanies sacrificial offerings. You will learn that it is truly more blessed to give than to receive. This shift in your financial status will also provide security and peace for your family that will eliminate stress and anxiety about provision. Your children will grow up in an environment where needs are met, not through worry and striving, but through faith and trust in my provision. They will learn valuable lessons about money management, generous giving, and the difference between wants and needs. They will develop a healthy relationship with money that sees it as a tool for blessing rather than a source of identity or security. I want to speak to you about the incredible creativity that is about to be released in your life. A creative anointing that will enable you to solve problems, develop solutions, and create opportunities in ways that will amaze you and benefit many others. This creativity is not limited to artistic expression, though some of you will discover artistic gifts that will bring joy to yourselves and others. This creativity extends to every area of life: business solutions, ministry innovations, relationship improvements, financial strategies, and problem-solving approaches. You will find yourself thinking of solutions to problems that have stumped others for years. You will develop strategies for success that seem to come from nowhere, but actually flow from my wisdom working through your renewed mind. You will create opportunities where none existed before, build bridges where there were only walls, and find ways to succeed where others have failed. This creative anointing will make you valuable in your workplace, your community, and your ministry assignments. People will seek your input because you will consistently provide insights that others miss. You will become known as someone who can find a way forward when others are stuck, someone who can see possibilities where others see only problems. Your creativity will also extend to your family life as you discover new ways to connect with your children, strengthen your marriage, and create memories that will last a lifetime. You will plan activities, design experiences, and establish traditions that will bring your family closer together and create a legacy of love that will be passed down to future generations. This creative anointing will position you to be a culture shaper rather than simply a culture follower, You will influence trends rather than being influenced by them. You will create content, develop products, and establish ministries that will impact thousands' lives for good. My beloved child, as you prepare for sleep, I want to speak one final blessing over your life that will carry you through the night and into tomorrow with hope and expectation. I want these words to become a foundation of faith that supports you through whatever lies ahead. You are entering into the greatest season of your life. You are stepping into a time of unprecedented blessing, favor, and divine intervention. You are moving from glory to glory, from strength to strength, from victory to victory. The best days of your life are not behind you, they are ahead of you. Every closed door in your past was preparation for the open doors in your future. Every disappointment was redirection towards something better. Every delay was divine timing working in your favor. Every struggle was strength training for the success that is coming. You have not been forgotten. Your name is written on the palm of my hand. Your tears are treasured in my bottle. Your prayers are like incense rising before my throne. Your faithfulness in the valley is qualifying you for blessings on the mountaintop. I love you with an everlasting love that will never change, never diminish, never fail, and never end. You are mine forever, and I am yours forever. Rest in that beautiful truth tonight. Tomorrow is a new day filled with new mercies, new opportunities, new blessings, and new reasons to praise my holy name. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear these words today. And if you're ready to receive, type Amen below and join our community of believers who gather here daily to receive encouragement and hope from the heart of God. Amen.